A reward for shareholders of 1.5 billion. Is this the start of a bigger program? And is this driven by the lack of opportunity to buy business, or what's the motivation for the buyback? Good morning.
Good morning. Well, if I may, I would first like to point out that actually we saw strong growth in the quarter, 9%, and a nice profit expansion. So Philips is delivering on its guidance, and we see a lot of customers signing up for long-term strategic partnerships because they believe in our strategy. They want to invest in telehealth, in informatics, and improving healthcare around the world. Our strategy is mainly focused on organic growth. We have also been doing acquisitions. Just in this first quarter, we did 2 significant acquisitions, BioTelemetry and Capsule. We have integrated those. They're doing very well, strong double-digit growth. So it's all working out. Now, at Philips, we have a balanced capital allocation policy. Right? So we'd like to keep a balance between acquisitions, dividend, and also share buyback. And so that is what we were announcing today, a new share buyback program for the next 3 years. And obviously, this is something you do when your share price is on the lower side rather than on the higher side. This is a good timing to actually initiate such a share buyback.
Frans, I mean, surely it's you perhaps even spending some money you'll be earning in the future with this share buyback, given that you had the appliances business of yours being up for sale. You announced that in March. How's that going? Because I think you said it was going to be completed, would be closing in the 3rd quarter. How close are you to doing that? Are you on track? And of course, the 3 billion you received, that 1.5 billion is already being earmarked for this share buyback. What do you do with the rest of it?
Well, some people would say that some of the proceeds of the divestiture of domestic appliances was already spent on the acquisitions that we did in the 1st quarter. But even so, you know, we are bang on track with the disentanglement of the domestic appliances business, and we are slated for a closing in late Q3. As we hand over then the ownership of the business to Hill House Capital.
So, Frans, obviously you've had some major issues in regards to the sleep apnea products. You made a provision last month, I understand, of 500 million euros. Is that at the extreme? Is that as bad as you think the litigation may be in regards to the product recall that you have launched on the sleep apnea machines? Is that extreme, as it were, that extreme number?
Yeah, it's good to talk about the sleep apnea devices, the therapy devices. Many patients depend on this therapy, and really our focus is to help the patients as fast as we can because it's important to them. It's a very sizable field action, and in conjunction with that field action, we have made the reservation of 500 million. We are in active dialogue with regulators across the world. The field safety notice is out. We are currently waiting for the approval of the repair and replace program, and we are all geared up. We have a lot of capacity on standby, and then we start remediating the devices in the field. So that is what the 500 million is for. It's our best estimate. And it includes, of course, a massive reach out and communication to patients around the world. With regards to the word litigation, I think it's way too early. We will, of course, use all the data that we have to prove that while this causes discomfort, it is not a ground for litigation. So I don't want to speculate at this time on that at all.
Frans, I want to get a sense of your guidance now and look at 2 aspects of it. One is, how do you factor in inflation, surging raw material prices into that guidance? The other thing is, how do you then also factor in the uptick in the number of vaccinations against COVID-19 as well? As more people get vaccinated, perhaps we'll see hospitals buying more of your equipment as a result without being hamstrung.
Yeah, it's a great question. Actually, we raised our guidance back in April as we saw, let's say, elective procedures coming right back. Currently, our cardiovascular elective procedures are above 2019 level. We can measure that because of the devices that we sell into cath labs. We see also that hospitals are investing in capital equipment, diagnostic equipment, operating rooms. We also see strong interest in telehealth and data science, as COVID has also proven that telehealth actually works and that many consultations you can do remotely. Now, all of these examples are spot on with the Philips strategy as we focus on providing solutions that improve health outcomes, improve productivity and a patient and staff experience. So we are trending well. We saw 9% growth in the quarter. We saw 29% order growth in diagnosis and treatment. And also the consumer health business is trending strong. Now, we all do that, of course, in the context of COVID. And I was listening to your program. I fully realized that we can see ups and downs as the pandemic evolves. But hospitals as well as governments are taking measures to shore up healthcare systems. We also see, for example, Europe issuing stockpile programs. So the near term actually looks good. We have raised our guidance to low to mid-single-digit growth, and that is taking into account, let's say, the hit that we take on the sleep business, where as we are focused on the field action, we will prioritize handling patient care. But even so, the other businesses are trending so strong that they compensate for that headwind. Components is something that, of course, I understand you ask about. We are working closely with our suppliers. So far, we have been able to accommodate the step up in growth, but it remains an issue that we need to work hard. We do point out that there are, it's an issue that we need to manage, but at this time, certainly not a reason to change our guidance.
Frans, how are you finding supply of labor to the business? Do you see a need to vaccinate or require all your staff to vaccinate at some stage?
Well, it's absolutely necessary that we all in the world get vaccinated. And I heard Dr. Fauci emphasize that. You hear all the experts in the world talk about the importance of vaccination.
On your staff. On your staff,
yeah, on
will
our
you ask
staff,
your staff to vaccinate?
It's absolutely. It's very important. It's also important because it enables us to get back together. And for an innovation company, live interaction is so much more productive than only having Zoom or Teams meetings. So it's important that we do get vaccinated, and the same applies to our staff. And we have an active call out to all of them to be part of the vaccination program.